I used to cry because I wanted to be in a band so bad.
Wow.
And so I used to take my Bluetooth speaker. It's probably like this big in the shape of a cylinder. So realistically, you could hold it as a microphone if you wanted to, a very big, clunky microphone. And that's what I did. I pretended it was a microphone. I would play my songs through the speaker and I would just pretend I was on stage. I was just like, "Yeah, dude, I'm in a band." I would like put my foot on like my bed and just
Oh,
be like, "Yeah, like no
do the
one's
power
watching."
stance. I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like I think back on that, I cringe, but at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way because where else would I be?
Today on the show, we are joined with singer, songwriter, and one half of Deadlands, the one and only Kasey Karlsen. Kasey, alongside with CJ of Deadlands, are about to release a brand new EP titled 7 that is dropping this week. It is absolutely freaking amazing, and beyond hearing me repetitively tell Kasey that throughout this interview, you're going to get a fun and candid look into her history of discovering her voice all the way to this current and super exciting chapter in her career. I can't say enough how awesome it was to talk to her during this time. And yeah, let's get into it. But yeah, first off, I just want to say you guys are fucking killing it. I'm new to Deadlands, but it's so cool to get like a little early peek at this new EP and everything. I've had it on consistent rotation today and everything. And so yeah, first off, big ovation to you. I'd give you a standing one, but I got all my shit around. It'll knock things over and ruin the whole interview. But
Understandable. Well, thank you so much. That makes me so happy, especially like, of course you and the other interviewers have been saying that it's been really good to hear and they love it and that just makes my heart so happy. So
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, it's just there's something refreshing about like all the elements from metal and pop and everything kind of combining in like this just like a perfect puzzle in a way. And I just kind of like I from watching a lot of like your videos and stuff, I've fallen into your algorithm, Kasey, of like seeing you do some covers and some different interviews. And one thing that kind of stood out like during an interview, you were talking about how you discovered metal through playing Call of Duty. Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah. Oh yeah.
And like how did that kind of happen? They were like, where did that bug like sink in where you're like, oh my God, I like this now and I need to dive deeper.
Well, I'll tell you what. There was like I say this all the time and I feel like I was like destined to be in metal because there was so many things around me like getting it thrown in my face.
Hmm.
Like for example, when I was really young, my dad used to take me to his job with him. He was like a car adjuster, so we would just go around, he would like inspect cars, give them an estimate or whatever. And on the way there and back, it was like an hour away. Like he would play Marilyn Manson, he'd play like Godsmack, all that jazz. So I really loved that growing up. And then I went through a phase where I just hated all rock and metal, besides the things that were nostalgic for me. And then I started playing video games, and at the same time, my brother, who is also a guitar player, and he sings now. He sings country, actually. It's hilarious.
No, that's cool. You both like kind of like had a shift somewhere in life, eh?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So he was playing guitar all hours of the night and he loved Van Halen and then progressively he was getting heavier with Avenged Sevenfold.
Hmm.
He started listening to Motion of Some White, Asking Alexandria, Attila, all the bands that he influenced me to get into essentially. And it was just all downhill from there. I got exposed to Avenged Sevenfold from Call of Duty, and
Hmm.
then I became obsessed. And you know how it is when you find something on your own that you feel like you need to just show people, like that will automatically bond you to the band for life. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Oh, hell yeah. And what does your brother think of like all this momentum you have in the metal world? Because I can imagine he still remembers the days when you were like listening to pop and stuff as a kid, and like he probably like blinked and like, oh, what happened now? You're doing all
Yeah,
these festivals and just screaming and shit like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he and just my entire family were like, yeah, we never expected this at all. I didn't expect it at all myself. Like, if anybody was going to be the famous one out of the family, it was going to be my brother. It wasn't going to be me. And it's so funny. Like, of course, I still have a long way to go, but the amount that I feel like I've accomplished and Deadlands has accomplished in the past couple of years, like, I still don't get it. I really do not understand. I just sit here and be grateful because that's crazy. That's all I can say.
I think like it just seems like you're just kind of going with the flow and you're open to new experiences and stuff. And I truly believe there's a power into that, especially if it feels natural. And as you can see, things have snowballed. And the other month, I interviewed the band Employed to Serve, and we talked to Justine, and she told me this hilarious story of like practicing and finding your metal voice and how it can be awkward if you got roommates, your parents in the house. And she told this great story of how even like the postman came to the door and was like, she couldn't hear the doorbell and she's screaming. And then he came to like the window, like, here's your package type of thing.
Oh
So I just kind of want to
man.
know like your story of how you adapted your voice because you don't just do one style of screaming. You have a bunch of tools in your kit and you can tell like you've really put in some work to get that down.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, she's right. All the awkwardness, especially living at home with your parents. I started doing vocals. I was probably 13 years old. I started taking it seriously at like 18, 19. And I used to cry because I wanted to be in a band so bad.
Wow.
And so I used to take my Bluetooth speaker and it was in the shape of like a cylinder. I'm like looking around trying to see if I have anything. But it's probably like this big in the shape of a cylinder. So realistically, you could hold it as a microphone if you wanted to, a very big clunky microphone. And that's what I did. I pretended it was a microphone. I would play my songs through the speaker and I would just pretend I was on stage and like living my life and essentially like if we're talking specifically like technique wise and how I would really like hone in on my vocals, I would just pretend to sound like the people I was listening to.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like I would listen to Asking Alexandria a lot and Danny Worsnop was like huge for me. I loved him for the longest time. So I would pretend like I was Danny Worsnop. I would listen to Crown the Empire and pretend I was Dave Escamilla and Andy Leo, like just on stage, and I was just like, yeah, dude, I'm in a band. I would like put my foot on like my bed and just
Oh,
be like, yeah, like no
do the
one's
power
watching.
stance. I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like I think back on that, I cringe, but at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way because where else would I be?
Hell yeah. And oh, that's so cool to hear. And even listening to this EP7 and throughout the songs too, it's just seeing your range of everything. And I find like with different songs, I've even getting surprised with like you doing different styles of screams. It's just like you think you're one way, and then it's like another like tool comes in. You're almost like this Switch Army knife of like just metal vocals of like but also it's not like you're just like overdoing it. It seems like you guys are very strategic of where you're placing these different elements to you too, which is just very interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, and I love that you said that because that was my goal. I always felt growing up as much as, Amy Lee is incredible, Lizzie Hale is incredible, Courtney LaPlante is incredible, but like I wanted a woman who can be the Swiss Army knife. Like you have so many Chris Motionless, Danny Worsnop, Will Ramos, like they can all sing and scream and they have such a wide range and those are the people I looked up to along with the strong women that we have. And I wanted to kind of meld those two worlds together because
Hmm.
I admired it so much. So to think that you are recognizing that and that hopefully other people will recognize that makes me so happy. So thank you. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
it's
said that.
yeah, no problem. It's cool, and it's like, yeah, I feel like this is just almost the new wave of people like yourself evolving the genre, you know? Like I'm getting up there. I just turned 40, but I used to like listen to extreme metal and people would do just one thing, like but now I don't know, just people are just adding so much elements, creativity, and everything. And one thing that really stood out deeper in the EP was the track Wither. And I'm just like listening to your voice on that, and I'm like, oh my God, like if they ever invent a time machine, don't go to the 1920s and make any of those noises. They will burn you as a
Oh
witch.
yeah.
No trial. Like, holy shit, like some of these gutturals and everything. And again, it's this like you seem to like strategically like just place it to what fits the song and the melody and everything. It's really cool. And I guess like you have like a background of listening to pop too, and um with this project Deadlands, you are a duo with CJ as well. And how does like kind of like the songwriting process work with you two? And how do you like compose a Deadlands piece?
Yeah, so for the most part, CJ will handle like the instrumental stuff. I don't play any instruments as much as I would love to. For some reason, like it just doesn't click with me. I've tried guitar, nope. I've tried piano. Piano I can do okay. Drums, I'm horrible. Don't even ask me. But like, so he is also a producer, so he handles everything, and he does such a great job at it. And sometimes if I have a riff in my head, I'll be like, "Hey CJ, like, can we do it like bow, 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 bow," and he'll do it. Like he's
Cool.
just like, "Oh, you mean like this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's perfect. That's awesome." And then I'll handle most of like the melody lines and the lyrics. Lyrics are like my forte for the most part.
Hmm.
And then a lot of the times, maybe if we want a producer to come and help us with the melody lines, we'll do that. But he does a lot of the heavy lifting, and I think he doesn't get nearly enough credit as he deserves, for sure.
Yeah, it's such a cool dynamic you guys have, and it's also cool to see you guys bringing in other collabs. Like I love that track with the Pretty Wild Kundalini. I think it's like at 500,000 views, and I might have been 400,000 the other week when I found it. And I kind of want to know a little bit about like bringing that collab together too, because it's such an excellent track, and again, it's got the catchiness, but also the heaviness combining in the perfect way.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you what, the Pretty Wild girls are absolutely, absolutely phenomenal and a force to be reckoned with, to say the least. The way that we collabed, I found them on TikTok with their song Black Ops, and I don't think it had come out yet. Um, Actually, no, it definitely didn't come out yet because I remember they were teasing it, and I was like, "Where is this song?" And we were on tour, and so when I found them, I was like, "Guys, look at what I just found." We started playing their stuff on like the our little van radio, and I was just floored by them. I was like, "There's no way that these girls exist. Not only can they sing." Can they rap, but they can scream, and they do it in such a way that it was like everything I wanted to sound like as an artist. And I was just like, oh my God, like I would give my left hand just to collab with these girls. And I also was like, I just wanna help them. I wanna give our fans to them essentially because I know that like they were so capable. Not that they needed our help to begin with, but they were just so capable of taking over the world. And I guess probably a year later since we were recording that they have, and it's so amazing to see. So we had some FaceTime calls. I slid up in their DMs. I was like, "You guys are insane." And I was like, "We need to collab." I didn't think they would make a song with us. And they were like, "Yeah, you want to like write a song?" And I was like, "Of course I do. Let's go."
Hell
So
yeah.
we planned this. I think for August we went down there and recorded the song. In literally 2 days we wrote and recorded, and it was done when we
Oh
walked
wow,
out.
even record or wrote it that fast too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn, you guys are machines. This is so fucking
Dude,
impressive. Like
no, they really are. Like the Pretty Wild Girls and also Andrew Wade, like he was the producer that worked on that track with us and he is also a genius in itself. Like he blows my mind. Every single time I hear anything that he does, it's just gold. Like he everything he touches is gold. And the Pretty Wild Girls too, they're just phenomenal and I love them so much. And it was just such a fun time and I'm so like blessed to have worked with them. I can't even believe that.
yeah, that's super cool. And yeah, after I looked up the name of what Kundalini means and everything. And even like watching the video, I'm like, oh, I get it with the snakes and super cool. It's like I guess like a yoga term of like the serpent inside or like unleashing it and stuff.
Exactly,
I'm like, oh,
exactly.
that's so cool. And even how was the video process? I'm watching that. I'm thinking I'm scared of snakes. I don't know how you guys held it down, but again, like that was super cool that you all had like your own like little snake, even like going to like the guitar playing. He's got one around and
Yeah.
yeah, how was that like on set and in making that video with the Pretty Wild?
Oh man, it was so much fun. We were just having the best time. We were laughing the whole time. I know we were all probably a little afraid of the snakes to begin with, but
It
the
didn't look like it.
handlers, no, I think because we got used to it. We bonded with them, you know.
Oh,
We
okay,
were
okay.
bonding with the snakes. They're so funny because they actually have their own personalities, and it's hysterical. Like you would never think. And the snake handlers, I believe. NTX Morphs is their Instagram handle. But they were absolutely great, and they were actually fans of Deadlands before we like met them, and
Oh,
then
cool.
the Pretty Wild Girls are the ones that reached out to them, and or I'm sorry, the reverse. They reached out to the Pretty Wild Girls. They were like, if you guys need snakes, like let us know, and they were like, actually, we do need snakes.
Yeah.
And then like they found out that we were gonna be there, and they were like, oh my God, no way. They were huge fans of the Pretty Wild and huge fans of Deadlands, and it was just crazy. It was like all the stars aligned for this. And so I had my snake's name was Dexter, and he was
Ah.
wonderful. He literally did not care what I did. I was literally thrashing around with him on my body. He didn't care. He literally was just having he was there for the ride, bobbing his head, you know.
Dexter's a real one. Because,
He
yeah,
was
I
a
was
real
thinking, it's like,
one.
yeah, there's moments you're like screaming and like headbanging and he's hanging off you. For
Yeah.
some reason, I imagine like myself doing that. Like, once I was like at a carnival and they put a snake on me and they're like, oh, if you just chill, like, it's going to be chill too. And you weren't chilling at all, Casey. You're like just rocking out. So, yeah, it's
I
cool that.
had to. I was like, I gotta get the best takes. I want to make this video the most epic that it ever can be, and it was. And it was everything that we had all imagined it to be, and I don't regret literally a single thing. I honestly, I would do it so many times over just because it was so much fun.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Yeah, I hope you do more collabs with them and other people as well. One thing I do love about that song too is just like my first listen through it and just vibing or whatever. And then the very last moment of the song where you just do that guttural, it's kind of like I don't know, when you watch like a basketball game and like a team kills it, but just at the buzzer they just sink a three-pointer for no reason. Like it was
Oh,
fucking fire that that moment.
thank
I'm
you.
just like, yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's so cool. And even yeah, I was listening to a couple other interviews of you as well. And one you were talking about going to see like a New Year's Day concert and being inspired by Ash Costello. And like I was wondering if like maybe down the road, like maybe that would be a good collaboration as well.
I
Uh,
mean, you never know. Me and Ash, we met at, was it Aftershock, I think? I think they had
mhm.
played literally right before us. And I heard them as we were going on, and I was like, that's awesome. I can't believe I'm like side to side with a legend like her. So, I mean, we were yapping a little bit, so you never
Oh,
know what could
good.
happen. I would love that.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, we had her on the show too, and like I don't have her contact or anything, but the same publicist who hooked me up with you, so there's a little link there.
There's
So
something.
I'm just trying to put that out in the universe for you too, and then I can go
Thank
when it
you.
happens, I can go back and be like, yeah, we
That
did
was me. That
it.
was me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's super cool. And yeah, we do get a lot of like different aspiring like creatives themselves like listen to these segments. And I kind of want to know if you have any maybe some general advice if somebody's aspiring to be a singer, or maybe they're like you just like practicing, know they want to do it, but don't know what's like the first step to kind of get some momentum. Would you have any advice?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first step is just opening your mouth and doing it, you know, like it doesn't matter how bad you start off because you're starting. It's not meant to be the best thing you've ever heard. Like, I believe legends and just people who are successful, they're made. They're not born that way. And unless you're just like a crazy prodigy, and that's so rare. Like, I worked very hard to get where I am. I was not born a singer or born a vocalist. You know, I made that path for myself, and everybody can do the same. And, you know, I think if you can get the bare minimum of a laptop that can run a DAW and a decent microphone, just watch tutorials and just continue to learn and soak up as much as you possibly can.
That's good advice too. I feel like a lot of people too they get a little stifled thinking it has to be perfect at the same time too. Even I'm reading
Yeah,
this book right now. It's called The Artist's Way and talks about like certain blockers. And I see it so common, like where again people like know they want to do this thing and they're just like, I'm not good enough. But the only way to get good is to do the process as well. Like it's like you got to go
exactly.
through the awkward growing phases too. And even me with doing this interview series too, like it started out as a mess and now I'm like talking to some of like people I grew up listening to and stuff. So I always like really want to tell people just like take those first steps and like try to figure it out and you're gonna fail, but like failing isn't like you can fail upwards, and just take it as a lesson and keep pushing forward and everything.
Exactly. You're so right. Like, and I wish more people would think that way because it's such a shame how many people give up at the very beginning. And it's like, you're just starting. Like, we all start somewhere, and we all got to remember that for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And it takes a lot of work to even like train your mind to that too. Because again, like I grew up with like so much fear and stuff, but I don't know, anything's possible if you really want to do it. And yeah, just kind of going forward with this release, how are you feeling? Because like I've noticed like in your history with the band, like you guys only have like a few like singles and stuff, but this is like the first package. Like, what are your thoughts and like how do you feel about it like dropping in a few weeks?
I'm nervous, I'm excited, and I just hope everybody likes it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because we did work really hard on it, and we definitely had some obstacles along the way, but in the sense in like we came out on the other side essentially, and I think that can be a testament to that too, just the EP and the whole writing process and I just hope that people enjoy it and they really just appreciate it and have fun listening to it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't say enough, such a solid piece. And I feel like it's cool to like talk to you right now at this chapter. Like you guys are so like fresh into this thing. It's about to like launch and so much momentum with you and CJ and everything. And yeah, like I can just see like you guys are just destined for more adventures and everything. And it's super cool. And maybe around like your next release or whatever, we can catch up again too, because yeah, it was very nice talking to you, and I genuinely fucking love this album and everything. And if you come to Toronto, I will see you live and all
Hell
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sean, thank you so much for having me. Like this was wonderful, and absolutely we can reconnect on the next release. I would love to. That'd be great.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, so we'll keep in touch. And anything else you want to say before we take off?
Maybe we could touch on the fact that we are going on tour. We're going to be supporting Scene Queen. We're going to be opening up for her and Girly. And it's going to be a hell of a tour. We got some headlining dates in between. And I mean, if anybody wants to come hang, we'll be there.
Hell yeah. And we'll share those dates on our socials as well as the AEP dropping on the 27th. And yeah, I can't say enough. Great to meet you, Kasey. Love your energy and everything. And hope you have a great day and we'll catch you down the road.
Thank you so much. You too. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hope you enjoyed that one with Kasey as much as I did. She's such a cool vibe, and like we mentioned, Seven is out this week. And once you listen to that EP, I want to know what you think about it. It's genuinely been in my consistent rotation, and I think it's so cool about the series is getting to talk to all these new artists I discover. I feel blessed and honored to ask the questions you kind of get while you're listening to a brand new piece and all that. And hopefully you as a listener or a fan of any of my guests' work get something out of these segments too, get some extra layers. I know sometimes I'll interview these people who I've been listening to prior, and then immediately after the conversation, it feels like I've became an even bigger fan, you know, just kind of getting to know their heart and soul, their spirit, their vibe, all that shit. And yeah, short story long, that's how I felt about my chat with Kasey today. And it's so cool to capture her thoughts, her perspective on this huge chapter in her career. And before we go, we can't run away without thanking all you legends on the Patreon page. First up, the biggest thanks to the Queen, Ola Mazuka of Sonic Fold. If you're into more interviews with heart and soul, check out Sonic Fold on Instagram. Ola is also a DJ, a community builder, and a solid vibe. So yeah, be sure to check out Sonic Fold. Also, a huge thanks to the lovely Amanda McKnight of the Vamp X13 YouTube channel and the Vamp X13 Twitch channel. If you're into comic books, movies, video games, and all things nerdy, check out Vamp X13. Another thanks to the wonderful Jenny Potter, the legend Devin McBride, the number one gent Alan Kent, and last but not least, Francis Copper, aka my mom. If you want to shout out at the end of these episodes and also get these episodes early, raw, uncut, right when I'm done the Zoom call, I just post them. You can go to patreon.com/thecreative-imbalance, and beyond having my forever thanks, you can just go to bed at night and sleep soundly knowing you're a badass motherfucker who supports raw, uncut, independent media, and nobody can take that away from you. You hear me? With that being said, we got so many amazing talks coming your way in the future. Oh my god, I got so much editing to do. Also, if you're listening to the audio version of this, go check out the Creative Imbalance YouTube. Lots of different exclusives, Q&As from panels. I've been hitting up different Comic-Cons and stuff that are only video versions you can get over there. Biggest thanks to all of you listening. More to come, and we'll catch you next time. Mwah.